Hi guys, this is Fancy Stitches and welcome back to my channel. In today's video tutorial, I'll be sharing with you how to cut this snatching waist cowl neck dress with pleated shoulder. It's a simple tutorial and all you have to do is watch till the end to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more of my videos. Like, comment and share with your friends. So guys, let's get into it. From my baseline down to my bust line is 10 inches, to my waistline is 15 inches, and to the hip line is 25 inches. Okay, the next step here is to divide my shoulder into two. My shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 8 inches. Okay, but I will be adding half an inch to it, okay, making it 8.5 inches. So I marked my point, and from my marked point I went down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and from my shoulder slope point I went down by 8 inches for my armhole length. Then I'm going to draw a straight line. Then for my neckline width is going to be 4 inches, which is here. Then I'm going to connect this point to my shoulder slope point. I also draw a line here as my chest line. Okay, then another thing is to mark for my armhole curve, and to do that I'm going to divide what I have here by 2, which is 8 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 4 inches. So 4 inches is my midpoint, which is here. Then I'm going to come in by half an inch. Okay, half an inch, which is here. Then I'll use my curve ruler. But before I mark for my armhole curve, I'm going to divide my bust circumference. My bust circumference of 36 inches divided by 4. My bust circumference of 36 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 9 inches. So I'll mark 9 inches. Then add 1 inch for my hemming allowance. Okay, so this is for my bust. Then I'll connect these 3 points together using my curve ruler. Okay, this is for my armhole curve. Then the next thing is to mark for the length of my front neckline. I'll be making use of 3 inches. Okay, so I'm also going to use my curve ruler to connect it. After that, we'll go ahead and mark for our basic body measurements. For my bust line, I marked the same measurement at my chest line. To the waistline, my waist circumference of 30 inches. 30 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7.5 inch. 7.5 inch. Then I'm also going to add my 2 inch hemming allowance. Okay. Then to the hip line, my hip circumference of 38 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 9.5 inches. Okay, so I will mark my 9.5 inches, then add 2 inch hemming allowance. Okay, which is here. Then I mark the same hip measurement at the hem of my pattern paper, just the way you see me doing it here in this video. Then the next thing is to connect all my marked points together. Okay, then I'm also going to extend this line here. To create the pleated shoulder of my crow neck, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to divide my shoulder into sections. Okay, what I have here is 4.5 inches, so I'll be dividing it by 1 inch. Okay, so I'm going to mark 1 inch here, 1 inch here, 1 inch here, then another 1 inch here. Okay, so this is my sections. I have 4 sections, 1 2 3 4 sections. The next thing is to make another sections at the neckline here. Okay, from the bust line upward, the first section should be at the bust line, which is the first section should be at the bust line. Then from my bust line, the second section should be at the chest line, third section, and this the fourth section. I'm going to connect this to this point, this to this to my chest line, and this to my bust line. Okay, just the way I'm doing it here in this video. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 sections here. Okay, so this is for our front pattern. Okay, the next thing is to cut this out. So guys, this is how you are going to arrange your pattern paper on your fabric. Okay, this is how it's meant to be. Okay, so the next thing, we are going to cut this now on our fabric. So guys, I'm gonna head to arrange my fabric as well as my pattern paper on top of it. Okay, I'm also going to cut together with the interfacing, and for the interfacing length, what I used here is 13.5 inches. Okay, 13.5 inches. So I'm going to use my pin to pin it up. I'm going to add 5 inches. Okay, from my pattern paper, I'm also going to add 5 inches, which is here, which is at the end of my, so I'm going to trace this out down. Okay, you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to cut this out now. Okay, so guys, this is it. Okay, so guys, I went ahead to make my pleats. Okay, this is how to do that. So guys, after pleating it, this is what I'll have. Okay, if I go ahead to measure it, I'll be having about 4 inches or 4.2 inches thereabout. Is still correct. Okay, so let me remove this now, and okay, I've also gone ahead to do so. Look at it. This is how to achieve the pleated shoulder of your crew neck. Okay, then the next thing is to cut for the back pattern. Okay, so guys, to cut for my back pattern, as you can see, I've gone ahead to draw my baseline, bust line, waistline, and the hip line. Okay, to mark for my shoulder measurement, my shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 8 inches. Okay, then I'm going to add ½ inch to it, half an inch, making it 8.5. Okay, then from my marked point, I went down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Then I also went down again by 8 inches to mark for my armhole, which is here. I'm also going to draw a straight line, and that line will serve as my chest line. For my back neckline width, I'll be making use of 4 inches. For the length, for my neckline length, I'll be making use of 1.5 inches. Okay, went ahead to connect my shoulder slope line and also curve for my back neckline using my curve ruler. Then another thing is that this back pattern is not going to have a zipper. That's why I didn't add my zipper allowance. It's going to have a buttonhole, okay, from the neckline. So to mark for my buttonhole, the length of my buttonhole is going to be 6 inches. Then I went ahead to cut for my buttonhole. So guys, don't forget to hit on the subscription button, subscribe to this channel, like, comment and share with your friends. If you have any question, you can as well drop that on the comment section. I will be there to attend to you. Then the next thing is to curve for my armhole, and to do that I'm going to divide my bust circumference of 36 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 9 inches, which is here. Then I'll add 1 inch hemming allowance to it. Okay, another thing is to mark for our body measurement. Okay, so coming over to the bust line, my bust circumference of 36 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 9 plus 1 inch hemming allowance. Okay, then coming over to the waistline, my waist circumference of 30 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7.5 inches. Then I'll also mark I added 1 inch hemming allowance. My hip circumference of 38 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 9.5 inch. Then I'll also mark my hemming allowance of 1 inch. Then the next thing is to connect my marked points. Okay, is to connect my marked points. The next thing is to cut this out. Okay, so guys, after cutting, I went ahead to arrange my fabric, then place my pattern paper on top of it, and as you can see, my tape, I use it to take the length of my dress, which is 40 inches. You can see where my tape stopped, which is 40 inches. So I'm going to trace out this part. Okay, from this part I'm going to trace it out, which is here. Okay, then while cutting for my back pattern, I will leave about 1/2 inch. Okay, I will leave about 1/2 inch. So guys, after cutting, if I'm to open it up, this is what I will have. Okay, then the next thing is to cut for our sleeve. So guys, to cut for my sleeve, okay, this is a pattern paper for my sleeve, and I've gone ahead to draw my baseline. Then from my baseline to the length of my sleeve is going to be 24 inches. So I'm going to add 1 inch for my hemming allowance, which is this point here. Okay, then the next thing is to divide my sleeve circumference by 2. Okay, my sleeve circumference of 12 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 6 inches. So 6 inches, which is here. Then I added 1.5 inch. Okay, 1.5 inch for my hemming allowance. Okay, then from my marked point, okay, from my hemming allowance marked point, I went down by 6 inches for the armhole length of my sleeve. 6 inches, which is this point here. Then from my marked point, I went out by 2 inches. Okay, by 2 inches. So I'm going to draw a line connecting these two marked points. Okay, then the next thing is to connect it. I used freehand to trace for my sleeve curve. You can as well use your curve ruler to do this. Okay, because this is a bell sleeve, I'll be using, what I have here is 12 inches. Okay, what I have here is 12 inches, so it's likely I'll be using the whole 12 inches for my bell sleeve. Okay, so this is how to cut your bell sleeve. Okay, the next thing is to cut this out now. Okay, so guys, this is it for my sleeve. Okay, this is how to cut a basic bell sleeve. Okay, so guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead to join the shoulder of my dress. Okay, cowl neck dress. You can see that, you can see the pleated edges. Okay, then also for the back, I've also gone ahead to fix my interfacing for the back. Okay, this is for the back. So guys, as you can see, I've already gone ahead to mark my point where I'll be fixing my loops. Okay, from my armhole I went down by 6 inches. Okay, and from my 6 inches point to fix my first loop, I gave half an inch. Okay, then from my half an inch point I went down by 1 inch again, give half an inch. Okay, I'm going to fix each loop between this half inch marked points. So guys, this is for my loops. Okay, you can see that. So after sewing it, I'll go ahead and place my fabric like this, then stitch along it. Okay, so this is how to fix your loops. Then for the other side, I'll be doing it off camera. Okay, so guys, after fixing my loops, I noticed that my loops were sewed down, so I have to amend it by retaking my measurements. Okay, so from my armhole I went down by 5 inches, marked my point for the first loop, then went down again by 1.5 inch for the second loop, and went down again by 1.5 inch for the third loop, and that is how it came out so nice. Okay, and finally guys, this is my end result. You can see how beautiful my pleated shoulder cowl neck dress came out. Okay, so nice and so beautiful. So guys, if you love this video, don't forget to hit on the subscription button, subscribe to this channel, like, comment and share with your friends. Okay, thank you for watching and see you on my next video.